Hello Star Citizens, Buzzkiller here, and welcome back to the hangar. For today's video I'm taking a quick look at the Constellation Phoenix. Now the reason I'm taking a look at this particular ship is because, like the Cutlass series, the Constellation lineup is currently going through a bit of a redesign. So not only are they going to be upgrading the level of detail on these ships, but they're also going to be porting it over into the new modular system, which should greatly increase the versatility of the Constellation lineup. Now the Constellation Phoenix is the limited variant of the Constellation lineup, and it is actually a very limited ship. Now most ships, like say the Mustang lineups, you have the Mustang Delta. Now the Mustang Delta was the limited variant for the Mustangs, and it went on sale for about a week, and then it also pops up during special sales. Not so with the Phoenix. The Phoenix actually falls into a different class of limited ships, and then it's limited by hull. So like the Idris and the Javelin Destroyer, this ship was limited to a certain number. Now the Constellation Phoenix was limited to a run of 5,000. And since it's been such a long time since this ship was actually released, and it hasn't gone on sale since, I don't know how many of those 5,000 are actually still out in the wild. So this could be possibly a very rare ship. So let's take a look at some of the stats, and I'll show you the reason why I actually decided to purchase this particular ship. So the Constellation Phoenix is again the luxury touring variant. It has a max crew of 5 and a cargo capacity of 540 freight units, which if you take a look at the other ships of the line, like the Andromeda, I believe it has an 1100 freight unit capacity, and then you have the dedicated cargo hauler, the Taurus, which comes in at a whopping 1900 freight units. So this ship is fairly limited in its cargo capacity compared to the other variants. Moving on, we have the power plant, and this is where the Phoenix actually shines. The Phoenix has a size 7 max power plant. It comes with a 6, while the other constellations have a maximum of 6 and come with a 5. Now all of them, of course, I believe except for the Taurus, come with 4 TR4 engines. I'm sorry, the Taurus actually comes with 4 TR4 engines. The others come with TR5. And these are the absolutely massive engines that you see here on the 4 pylons. And these engines are actually gimbaled as well, so they'll act as sort of pseudo maneuvering thrusters. And I'll show you kind of how they work. Well, I'll give you an idea. I can't really show you because the animations, of course, don't work. So moving on, for weapons, this ship has 4 size 4 gimbal mounted weapons, which each mount on the engine pylons for now. And it also is supposed to come with 2 turrets, each carrying 2 size 4 weapons. Now those are of course manned turrets. Not sure how that's actually going to hold up when they switch it over to the new weapons mount system. We'll see if they increase the turret size to accommodate those weapons, or if maybe they'll drop them down to a 2 or 3. I don't know. I'm hoping that they don't drop it down too far though, because unlike the Retaliator, this ship doesn't have, just massive amount of turrets. But then again, it is a luxury ship, so it's understandable if it's not, as well defended. For shield, this comes with a size 6 shield. Well, actually, it comes with a size 5, with the ability to mount up to a size 6. It's a really great looking ship. I mean, even in its current state. Again, this is one of the first multi-crew ships to come out, and it was, of course, updated. I had the original Andromeda. Well, it wasn't even called the Andromeda back then. It was just called the Constellation. And when the variants came out, they made some massive changes to how the ship works, or how the ship looks. Let's go ahead and take a look inside. Before I go inside, you can see here is the cargo hold. And unlike the other variants, this one doesn't actually work. You can't open it, unfortunately. And of course, the Phoenix also comes with a P-72 Archimedes, which hasn't been modeled yet, but I believe they are working on it. Right now, it currently has a Merlin in the docking collar. And I'll take you for a quick look inside that cockpit here in a little bit. So let's go ahead and go inside. And here we go. Now, one thing you may notice if you've seen reviews or tours of these other ships is how clean and sterile this ship really looks. I mean, I kind of like the aesthetics of it, but I wish they had gone with a little bit more color. Maybe not dirty, because this is a luxury ship, but give it a little more contrasting colors, because the white ceiling with the white walls, it just doesn't have enough contrast, even with the wood panel flooring, which is absolutely beautiful, by the way, if you take a quick, close look at it. The wood grain texturing is actually really, really well done. It's very detailed. I'm sure you've seen it if you own or have access to a Revel in York hangar. It even has little scratches in it, as you would think it would have if you walked on this wood paneling. Little wood and chrome accents everywhere. It's pretty cool. I wish that like I said, that they'd gone with a little bit more color in this area, though. So let's go ahead and sit down in the pilot seat here, or the commander seat, whichever you want to call it. Captain's seat. And actually, it's not a bad view for such a large ship. Of course, RSI is well known for their large glass canopies. You've got the Aurora, this. I thought the Carrack was RSI, but it's actually Anvil. But it has a similar style glass canopy as well. Of course, up front you have that blue screen, which is likely your HUD, and then these two panels at either side of your chair. They're probably more for like status displays, similar to what the Aurora will have. You probably won't be wearing a helmet on this ship, so you need the actual physical displays, and there's more up here and along the top there, excuse me. But not a bad view for a large ship such as this. Let's go ahead and get out. Now again, I told you that this ship is supposed to have two turrets, an upper and a lower. Unfortunately, right now it only has one. We've been told by CIG that was just an oversight, and right now it currently has a little smuggler's cubby down here where the bottom turret should be. Now this is actually a feature of the Constellation Taurus, so it probably just got overlooked and put into here by accident. Now we can actually get up into the top turret. Let me go ahead and open that up. There we go. And we're up. And then it opens up, and of course the turret rises up into its firing position. Now I'm not sure why we sit so high. I think we're sitting a little bit too high for that heads-up display, and it's a little dark to see through, so hopefully they'll make some changes to that. And of course that little, I don't know what's going on there in the bottom left corner of the screen, but it's more transparent than the rest. It'd be nice if they actually made it the whole screen that transparent. So not bad viewing angles to the top and sides in this turret. Let's go to an external view. Find the right button now. There we go. And these weapons are of course placeholders. Those are supposed to be size 4 weapons. Uh-oh. Did I crash? Nope, still going. Okay. My mouse just seems to have stopped working. Well, I'll continue the best I can with the control pad. Oh, by the way, thanks to Judge Kasumi, one of my viewers, he recommended that I start using a gamepad while doing these reviews to give me a little bit more smooth camera angles and a camera motion. That hopefully it's working out better than the mouse and keyboard route. Let's go ahead and close down the turret. And take a look at the rest of the ship. Now here's a little kitchen area. This actually opens up into a little table. Oops. Of course I hit the wrong button and went down the exit hatch, so let me go back up. There we go. There's a little bit of a bug with this table. When you get in, you'll sit down a little off center and then you'll pop up really high. Oh, it really messed me up this time. There we go. Well, I can't move my head. Turn on track IR. Yeah, we're actually sitting way above the table here. So it's a little glitch that's actually new to the 1.1 patch. So it wasn't doing that before. Of course, you have these little placeholder screens everywhere. I really don't like these because of the way it's almost like it's got double vision. It's really hard to look at without getting a bit of a headache. To the rear of the kitchen area, we have a toilet. You can't actually sit on this one. It has no actions. The action just closes the door again. And on this side, you have a little shower. A little bit further back, we have our sleeping area. And these, of course, double as escape pods. So to get up at the top, we actually have to extend the little ladder. And then you climb up. And again, we have some more of those annoying placeholder screens. I guess in order to give it a little bit of a luxury appearance, they've added these little paintings everywhere. And I actually really like this particular painting. I like the wood frame. It has that same great grain. But look at the bump mapping on this painting. It actually looks like it was painted on a canvas. It's got the little clumps of paint everywhere. Very nice. And unfortunately, in the concept, they actually had more pictures than this. Each of the framed, you'll see two more in the back, had a separate painting. But unfortunately, I think they only put one painting in this ship, and they just repeated it 3 times. Going into the rear section. Now this is where the Phoenix differs drastically from the rest of the lineup. This is your luxury area, your luxury quarters. And I don't know why it has so many seats back here. If you had 6 people plus 4 at the bar, I mean, this would be a really crowded ship. But you have your little kitchen area over here with a refrigerator that does open up. These cabinets don't open up, but I'm sure that they will. And your sink and stove area. And over here you have your bar. Unfortunately, they they still haven't put the bottles in. That's been a problem since this ship was released, but they do have the shadows for the bottles on the wall. I'm hoping that maybe they integrate like the liquor cabinet from the subscriber awards to put in here. That'd be pretty nice. Get more of that wood grain surfacing on the bars. Chrome chairs with glass. Now see, this is the level of transparency I'd want in the turret. I'd actually want this table and chairs to be a little bit darker glass because you can barely see it. And that chrome is a little over the top. A little over the top. It's a lot over the top, actually. Another difference for this ship is it has a skylight overhead. You can barely see through it. And then you have your little entertainment area here. These seats are really cool. I mean, all of the seats in the ship have this leather on them, and it's very, very detailed leather. Very nice looking. It even has a bit of a bump map going on there to give it some texture. Nice looking. Little end tables here. And your TV screen there. And here's the infamous hot tub. Nobody seems to like this. I can understand why. I'd kind of want to remove it as well. It seems a little over the top. And then of course your completely open sleeping area. No privacy at all back here. And here's those paintings again I was telling you about, but these are actually in a chrome frame instead of the wood. Got another little screen here. And your completely wide open, no privacy shower. In fact, where would it's got a little drain there, but unless it has some kind of magical way of attracting the water, you're gonna get, I don't know if you ever walked on a wooden floor when it's wet. It's pretty slick. Moving around to the side, we have another shelf with a few little knickknacks here. It looks like it should be a little picture frame, but it's just more wood. Unfortunately, there's no access to the lower cargo hold. I could show you some of it when I clip into the model from an external view. And then back here you have your engine room / entry to the Snub fighter. Now this room in the Phoenix is extremely bugged, so let me warn you now, it's not very pretty in here. Now originally this room looked just like the one from the Andromeda, but I guess they tried to update it and it just went horribly. You actually sink down about a foot into the floor here, and you have this stretched texture everywhere that's covering up, you know, all the vitals. This little paneling here actually shouldn't be here either. You should be able to see beyond this. There's actually some stuff. Let's see if I can, yeah. It's actually got some interesting stuff back here which would be nice to show off. It even has wood paneling back here. I think I'd prefer it if they kept it more utilitarian like the other engine rooms and the other ships of the line. Back here you have power supplies, more of that wooden paneling. And of course your hatch going down into the Merlin, or in the Phoenix's case, the Archimedes. Another thing the Phoenix comes with that the other ships don't is its own Lynx rover. Now the Aquila does come with a rover, but it's not the same one as this one. This was probably going to be a more luxury themed type of rover. Let's go ahead and get back into the captain's seat up here. I'm going to actually pause here for a second, and I'm going to get the camera into the Merlin so that you can see the cockpit on it. It takes a little work, so I'm going to go ahead and, as I said, pause here. So let me go ahead and sit down. And bear with me, I'll be right back. And here we are inside the cockpit of the Merlin Snub fighter. Now, of course, I didn't climb in here. I'm just using the camera to clip through the model so that we can see inside. And let me turn on track IR so we can look around a little bit. So again, a very small Snub fighter. And there you can see the docking collar, which allows entry. Now this ship is actually not made by RSI, it's made by Kruger, which is actually a weapons manufacturer. This is the only ship they make, aside from, of course, the Archimedes. And you can see that this is a kind of a dated, very simple design. It has 2 joysticks, little rudder pedals, a single, looks like one of the holographic projectors from the 300 series. Some displays that are on some kind of articulated mount there, and of course a lot of manual dials and gauges, something you wouldn't really expect in such a futuristic craft, but actually have analog gauges. Still pretty cool. Of course, there's our seat, with a little 8-point harness. Back up a little bit. Let's take a look through the docking collar. Of course, there's the ladder. This little panel here actually used to have one of those temporary displays. Now it's blank. And of course, there's the top of the hatch. And we're back in the engine room. So let me go ahead and clip out real quick. Now remember the engines I was telling you about, how they articulate. Now I'm sure you've seen the commercial for the ship. So you should know that these 2 engines on the top actually slide in and out. So when in cruise mode, these 2 engines actually slide and lock together. What you may not know is these engines also pivot on a horizontal axis. And then the bottom engines pivot as well. And you see that sort of circular area there. That's where it pivots. Now these little doors with the Mark III, or of course your VTOL fans, which I've actually heard they're probably going to replace with some type of thruster system. But I guess we'll find out for sure when the ship is updated. Actually, if I clip in, there you go, you can see the actual fans themselves. Now up top I have what I believe to be your shield system. Yeah, okay. Even says it right there. Your bearings 65 7 alpha, size 5, max shields. So that's probably one of your shield generator or projectors. There's one on each nacelle. And here, this is likely the gimbal mount for the size 4 weapons. And again, that is repeated on the bottom. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, there it is over here. Right there. One thing we didn't talk about was missiles. And each of the Constellation series has their own number and type of missiles. Whereas most of them have a size 1 launcher, and the size 1 missiles usually pop out somewhere around here. The Phoenix doesn't have any of those. Instead, it has 2 swing arms full of size 2 missiles. And those actually swing out and lock into place. The missiles, you can sort of see the little square areas where they fit. And of course there is, I believe, 7 on the small one and 12 on the large one, giving you a total of 19 size 2 missiles on each side. So it should be fairly formidable. This little area here is of course where some of the TR-3 maneuvering thrusters go. And there's a little, I don't know if that was added later or if it's a bug or what, but you actually have a bit of wood paneling on the outside of the ship. It looks kind of ridiculous. I do like the little yellow lines, accent lines. And notice the different colors in white on the ship. I wish they had done that more inside as well, so it didn't look so sterile. Of course, this little area here is where the escape pods, this hatch blows and the escape pods come out there. And of course you can see the skylight from the top. Well, I know this has been a pretty long video, so I think we'll go ahead and wrap it up here. I hope you enjoyed it. And again, I will give you another tour once the new version comes out. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and hit that like or subscribe button. And once again, this has been Buzzkiller. And until next time, I'll see you guys in the verse.